Last week, I asked you about your accomplishments in 2020 and to think back to where you've come from since this time last year and to so enjoy that perspective, even though I know there's been so much pain and chaos. But we're doing this little exercise in the spirit of designing the next chapter of your story with your horse for 2021. But before we get to 2021, I thought I'd share my number one thing that I learned in 2020. So let's take a little tour of our 30-acre pasture on our property. Let's go. So here we are at the top of the hill of this 30-acre piece of property that I was telling you about. And this is where I want to share with you my biggest takeaway from 2020. And that is that I learned to listen more. It's really interesting when you have the objective of just truly listening with no judgment. And I enjoyed hearing the owls that are in those trees and are in these trees, going back and forth, and the foxes and the coyotes. But most of all, I think that I really enjoyed learning to listen to this guy more, who is now thinking a lot about the grass. And it gave me a new perspective of just really hearing horses and people and also myself. So that's my big takeaway from 2020, and I'm up here at the top of the hill because I think it's kind of a wide perspective, but when you really listen, and I hear a little airplane above, when you really listen, you get and become more drilled down to the moment. Okay, so let's go to our next stop on our little tour of 30 acres. So our next stop is what we call a tank. That's what they call them in Texas, which is a pond. And we have two of them, and this is the bigger one. It's actually not that big, but it is bigger than the next one, which you're going to see in a moment. And I think that tanks and ponds and bodies of water are so great for reflecting, and I want you to begin your design of your story in 2021, or at least the next chapter, by thinking about what you'd like to do. It's just a simple question, but most importantly, what really brings you joy, and what would you like to accomplish? And just allow yourself to have this big old magic wand. Maybe you could take one of those reeds over there and make it a magic wand, and just dream big and just enjoy allowing yourself to do that without all the reasons why it probably wouldn't work out. Okay, let's go on to our next stop. So here we are at our next stop, which is the little tank. And as you can see, it's pretty au naturel, and it's small. And the piece of designing your dream that I thought was so fitting for this spot is that sometimes we have a big dream and we have this magic wand and we know what would be exciting. Nick knows what would be exciting. But we start thinking that we will never get it. And we have all of these reasons why, which reminds me of all this kind of brown stuff here. All these reasons why we can't do it. We're too old. We don't have enough money. Our horse isn't quite good enough. We keep making the same mistakes. Just on and on. And the thing is that while some of these things might be valid challenges, if you allow them to shut down your dream, then you don't even go on a journey to see where it might take you. Solving the challenges might lead you to things that you could never have imagined. So I think we ought to just leave all that stuff right here in this little pond. And I think it can handle it just fine. And for the moment, let's let it go. And we still have our big dream. And let's go to the next place, the scary woods. Here we are at the scary woods, and see those round bales? Coyotes sit on those sometimes. Nick's pretty calm today, but he has done some unexpected backing up and fear behaviors about this woods. And I think besides limiting thoughts, we all have our fears. But when Nick gets scared, I encourage him to just not wheel away. We turn and we face the fear, and we just wait until he relaxes a little bit more. And I just want to mention that I think we all get scared. Fear is a part of our life, and it's not that we don't ever want to be afraid. But I encourage you that when you are afraid, just to take a bit and to lean into it. And it might just take a bit, or it might be a lot. But lean into your fear, and even if you don't know what the solutions are, they will come. And it will always be a part of our lives. And just like Nick and I, just kind of hang with the fear, and you'll find your way through it. One of my favorite things on our property is this mushroom tree. And it's about maybe 80, 85 years old. And I think about, Nick's thinking about it, I think about all of the storms that it's seen and how it's just withstood the test of time through droughts and lightning and wind and all of those things. And how we too certainly can do the same and already have done the same. And that you've left your limiting beliefs in the little tank, and you can face your fears. And wherever you are, however old you are, whatever horse you have, you and your horse are gorgeous, and your journey is absolutely gorgeous if you choose to see it that way. So I hope you enjoyed your tour of our little piece of Texas. So what are you dreaming of for your next chapter with your horse for 2021? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your dreams with your horse. And have fun with this, and let us hear from you.